Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Tour de France 2024. It's episode number 2.
We're onto the pace right away. It's a route without pitfalls. Go!
And as we settle in here, I've got us out the box here as the leader. Actually, it's not even, it's Lozano right now. We'll peel off here.
Come on, each one takes his pull. Go!
31k in all for this. Rodolfo now taking his turn.
Go, push hard on those pedals. Go!
Big question is what's going on behind me. We don't necessarily know. Planet. Definitely feeling a little bit better than some of the others. We're going to let him take a longer turn here. We're at 6 minutes, 30 seconds so far as we approach the first
turns left.
check.
Go! Go!
We're at 9 minutes. Our objective for the first time check is 10:41. We're now 1k within
Intermediate
that.
time check is in 1 kilometer. Go! Go!
On to my turn. Definitely pushing, and we're coming up on that, just seconds off from the goal. 10:52.
It's not good, guys. We're not up to the pace. We could have had a better time at the last intermediate check.
Definitely pushing pretty hard. We're going to back off just a little bit here. Remember, we didn't go full gas there for a bit, and we still didn't make... We went harder than they wanted, and we still couldn't make it. We've only had the one turn, and I might have lost a second or two there, but I certainly didn't lose 20 seconds or 30 seconds.
Watch out, guys.
Nothing like
There'll
that.
soon be a left turn. Go!
On to Planet. Seems the second rider can go through faster than I can, so switching off to them pretty quickly seems to help us. We're going to have a little bit of a hill here coming up in a little bit. We'll see what that does for our timing, as we were last of everyone at the first time check. I'd certainly hope that we're going to be a little bit better off on the next one.
You'll soon be at the second time check. Come on, grit your teeth, all together.
Blue bar is going to be something to keep an eye out for. Again, the biggest ask is, can we make 10 more K? Look how tired Lozano is. And we're still not setting a great tempo. Here comes that second time check. 26:56 the target. Right now we're at 26:15. We might actually just about make it. And we do. We are within the time check. We're still 20 seconds.
That's good, guys. You're setting a very good time. Keep a little for the finish, though.
And I'm afraid we don't have that little bit for the finish. Yeah, look how Lozano drops back to second.
Come on, guys.
It's all about the fourth rider, though.
Remember, it's the
Have to have
time of the
four.
fourth rider that counts.
Oh, there's only 3 here. There's only 3 here. I didn't know we had officially dropped anyone. So as we go forward, our team is a bit of a mess
Go!
now.
5 kilometers! Go on, give it everything you've got. Go! Go!
We're losing a lot of time on this final check. It sucks that there's no way that I know of, anyway, to check on where my teammates are, how they're doing, how they're hanging in there or not. But as we go into the 1 kilometer banner, 2 guys are riding away and pushing to get there, and there's nobody with them. Time's taken off of our 4th guy, so these 2 really don't mean much. But there's our first 2. There's our 3rd. That's another team, or is that our guys? That's the rest of our guys. So that wasn't too bad. They were only a few bike lengths behind, but yeah. I actually did end up pushing too hard. I was setting tempo. I was really worried about red bar and not blue bar. I've only done maybe 1 team time trial on this game before. Wasn't the worst handled one. We were really close to our time check. both in the first and second time check, there just wasn't enough in these riders. We are a very low level team compared to the others. The good news is we actually managed to do well enough to not be last. I thought we had been last, but we pulled ahead of that. I'm wondering actually team classification, how many teams? Yeah, 22 teams. We were last. We did move up 2 spots. So as poorly as that felt like it went, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, and we were also just seconds away from total energies, and we get just ahead of 2 other teams. It was a competitive time still in the end. The best news about the first 2 stages was that I quick simmed and saved energy, so I, myself, the individual rider, am fresh as we go towards stage 4. It's not the Dauphiné, it's Paris-Nice. For Paris-Nice here, we are 142 kilometers run for Rodolfo, 125 for Planet, Brand 17. Stage 1 had just 3 riders in the break, Aski, Fedorov, and Rodolfo. Stage 2 had just 2 riders in the break, Planet and Brand, and it looks like based on the kilometer length that they both did it at separate times. That Planet went out and ran it for about 125k, got caught. Brand attacked, got away for 17k, and got caught. That was the entire break. So after 2 stages, there is no major threat. Aski and Fedorov, okay, they put in some kilometers, but the combativity award is wide open as we head to stage 4. So the objective for the race for me is going to be the combativity award and then collecting what I can collect in terms of level ups. 166k for stage 4, punchy stage, but mostly coming in the final climb. Decent opportunity for some KOM points, some targets, some things to go after that are on the easier side to collect, but also a decent amount of kilometers. Stage 5 almost looks a better option to go into the break. It's more rolly, there's a couple climbs to get into, more points involved, finishes on the flat, and is a little bit longer, but I very much want to be in the break for stage 6, which is the longest of this tour. I think between stages 4 and 6, we could put ourselves in a position to potentially win the combativity award. If necessary, we can go in the break on stage 7 and or stage 8 to get the remaining kilometers that we need to ensure that we have it. But we don't want to break away too often, and I think 4 and 6 are good opportunities to collect a good amount of kilometers. First 2 riders are already starting to take off, but I finally find a gap to come through, and it puts me right in the hunt with them. Fedorov is amongst them. Fedorov has already been in a break, so that's a little bit of a worry.
Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack.
Not wanting to work. We're 26 seconds ahead of the peloton, so actually we're in good shape there. But I want pressure on Fedorov, if anything, as others are joining us. Right now, a very strange thing has happened. The Gasher is in a breakaway. Group 3 on the road, 16 riders. They're a half minute ahead of the peloton, but I don't think the peloton's going to sit up and let them go. Too strong. Bergadow plus
a good
one
ruler
other,
with not too bad a
plus
punch.
the 7 of us
He
being
should still
chased.
try to get away.
3k to the first climb of the day already. And my group is shrinking, not growing. It's down to 5. Ramirez and Fedorov have
King of
both
the mountain sprint
sat
in 2
up.
kilometers for the breakaway
I've
group.
got to try to make up ground to get up here.
Watch out for him.
Use my red
He's
gel
the
so I
best
have
puncher in the
something to
breakaway.
attack with. And we're down to 4 riders. Ramirez off the back, Perez off the back, and the peloton is a minute 48 down. They stayed at that 50 seconds for a long time until we saw a big acceleration in our group. And that big acceleration is what set us up for what we're doing right now.
You're on your way to the top spot of the white jersey standings. It's great. Keep going, kid.
And my other gel as well. I'm barely hanging in there. This is the top. I didn't realize I was that close to it. I do get 1 point.
Reduce the tempo or you'll pay the price.
And the peloton is now 3.5 minutes down. So it's really, really opened up, and I'm getting a nice recovery in right now. It was a good outcome. Even though we didn't win that climb, we were in survivability mode. This group had 7. There was 2 more off the front, so there was 9 riders. Now there's 4. And we made it into that select group of 4. I've been contributing, they're attacking me. The group has attacked us. I am much weaker than the 3 of them. Alright, looks like I will regain contact, but that was Not cool. The way they attacked me there. I'm gonna have to come through and force some turns and not just sit on. I went for a recovery there, so I'm back on the board. Backing off as much as I can to conserve energy, but also be on the front and let them have me be on the front. I mean, I've opened it up another half minute. We're 4:15 ahead. But I'll take a good long turn here, and then settle in, ride with the group for a while. They'll be more inclined to let me be here. The weakest riders should be doing some of the work, but we still have a little while before the next
interested in a stage
climb.
win.
While things were sped up, I did take turns, but a little bit less than everybody else. I'm the weakest rider, and I'm very much not recovered, but I have recovered a little bit, and I need to take time here to go ahead and use my gel, which is why I decided to slow things down for a little bit so I can get some recovery in. We'll come through on Fedorov here soon, but he's the one that I want to weaken, so we've done that. We've got a feed zone coming up after this Cat 3, and we should be fine for that. Peloton 650 behind. Yeah, you can see just how quick my turn is going to be. I get out there for a very little bit. It's definitely just a second shorter than everybody else, and I have missed at least a couple turns along the way. But we're coming up on the next KOM. I didn't realize it was this close. 700 meters, and I'm already going near full gas. Look at my effort right now. That's the yellow bar. For those unfamiliar with the game, yellow bar, maximum 100% effort is not far off from what we're giving right now. We're giving a good 90%. We're going to have to push pretty hard to keep up with these guys here, and then try to come through. Final 300 meters.
He launched the mountain sprint.
Third again. Hard to beat these guys. They are much, much stronger riders than I am. Not bad there, though, and we've kept up. Still speeding things up, but as we come up on 50 kilometers left to go. I've recovered a fair bit of energy, but I'm definitely not at full strength. But you can also see that it takes 90 effort for me to take a turn. We've sped up a lot. That's because the Peloton has sped up a lot. They pulled us back pretty quickly. They pulled back 3 minutes before we accelerated. And since then, that's come down from about 3:30 to 2:47. So we're holding on fairly well right now. There's enough strength in these three, but you can see it's now much harder for me to keep up as we are climbing. I'm going to need to use that gel here pretty soon. Setting up the finishing climb is taking its toll on me at this tempo. There's riders out the back. Get into the aero tuck, save some energy, recover a little bit here. Now just 2 kilometers from the intermediate sprint point. 10 points available, 6 seconds. Don't care about that part, but winning one of these is going to boost our acceleration and sprint ratings. So we definitely want to go for it. Peloton is just 1 minute behind now. I'm not going to last much longer here in this group. I've had a hard time hanging on. You can see I'm down to that last ounce of energy. And if any of these guys do attack this one, I will get dropped. And yes, it's happening. I've blown up. So I'll be out of the group here in just a moment.
Breakaway is unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves. The Peloton is riding hard.
Schultz
Stay
goes
well
through.
placed.
Fedorov goes second. Rhoda third. And I get a nothing consolation of 4th place here.
Last time check with the breakaway, 1 minute. The breakaway's managing to hold off the Peloton. The gap seems to have stabilized.
For now, I'm collecting kilometers in a different way, solo. Still 20 seconds ahead of the Peloton. We're going to come up on that final climb here fairly soon, but I'll have to... barely made that without blowing up. The longer I can stay away, the better. There's no way I'm going to hold them off just 6
We're
seconds
10
behind
kilometers
me.
from the end of the stage, and there's still everything left to play for.
And I've been caught. Tight corners.
And we're off.
Not
the man
the
at the
easiest
front
ones
is
to
onto
take.
the final climb.
7K left on the stage. Ooh. Boy, I put the brakes on and still didn't put them on hard enough. That was a very tight turn.
He's moving onto the attack. He's turning the
Gonna
screw.
blow up.
For now,
Ugh.
he's the virtual
Stop
yellow
that just in
jersey.
time. Base of the climb. This is all the tempo I can give, so I will very quickly be left behind. Schultz is still out front. Others are chasing just a few seconds behind him now. And the peloton is splitting up very, very quickly, at least at the front.
30 seconds lead for the head of the
91
race.
in the heart of it, where I am now, but I'm about to be out the back of it. That's okay. Weird to see Sepp Kuss so far down the order. Final few hundred meters, Vlasov plus two other riders a bit at the front throughout. We'll see who comes out on top. But Pidcock, Pogačar, Roglic all chasing. It's Vlasov ahead of Simon Yates and Williams top three, with Pidcock and Pogačar rounding out the top five. I've made some definite forward progress over those getting dropped. Roglic was 6th, Bilbao 7th, Vingegaard, Evenepoel, Mataway is your top 10. I'm outside of the top 100 to 74th. Not a bad finishing climb, especially considering I had just been caught from the breakaway and was completely exhausted even from the base. But 9.5 minutes down overall is big losses. Lozano was our highest guy at a minute 13 down in 38th. Not quite competitive enough. That's going to rule us as a team out of GC, but we were already ruled out of GC with the time trial where we lost nearly 2 minutes. But with 143 kilometers for combativity today, Schultz, Rhoda getting more, but I actually ended up exceeding Fedorov's number by a little bit. That's big. None of the other guys getting any significant amount. It puts us certainly in the mix for the combativity award. In GC, Pidcock leads from Pogačar by 3 seconds. Remember, there was a team time trial that impacted where everybody was. Mark Hirschi is 3rd. Bilbao, Rodriguez, and Bernal, Vlasov all within half a minute. For us, our highest placed rider is Lozano at 2:52 down, 45th overall. I am 85th overall now at 11 minutes behind. Not worried about that part. In terms of the KOM, Brand has 6 points, Rodolfo has 4, Planet has 3. I pick up 2 points, but Vlasov has a hefty lead from the top of that climb. ×2 with the hilltop finish. While it wasn't a great performance, 14th in the team classification, following that stage with healthy bonuses over most of the Continental Pro teams, does put us at least kind of in the mix. But for that combativity, that's the one we care about. Fedorov now has a commanding lead, but it's not that commanding, 282 kilometers. The thing you got to watch out for, though, is him getting into more breaks. We got to try to stop him from getting into additional breaks, otherwise that's going to make it harder on us as time goes on. But Schultz at 155 and Rhoda at 147, it was their first day in the break. As long as they aren't intent on going 2-3 more times, we'll be okay. As long as it's only about once, because it's going to take me at least 3 days, I think, in the breakaway to achieve our goals. But we're just behind Rhoda, Askey, and Schultz now. Already ahead of my teammates, only just, but ahead of, and looking, pretty good, except for that jump that Fedorov has on everybody else. So outdoing him today in kilometers, helpful. Stage 5, sprint stage, bypassed Perez, Herguts, Bergadao getting the majority of the kilometers there. Lozano got 10K. So with the updated combativity standings following stage 5 with 3 more to go, Fedorov leads 282. He got no additional kilometers today. Perez had a little bit. He had 20 or something before. That being his second day in the break brings him up to 164. I'm still 6th, still very much in the mix.
Hello, cycling fans everywhere. All uphill and downhill, the road leading to the Col sur Loup is anything but relaxing for the peloton.
Tune us in, first one off the front. I'm the second one off the front. So far, I've gained 15, 20 seconds. Pretty quickly, it'd be lovely if it was just 2 of us. But here goes Gaudu, Cazeneuve. The biggest thing is going to be about avoiding Fedorov in the group. This is the longest stage of this race, so it's a fantastic opportunity to get lots of kilometers. And if there's strong riders in this group, it's going to be one where we ultimately want to sit on. But getting out here first with Tennyson
1 minute for the breakaway. It's looking good.
Advantage in terms of collecting a few extra kilometers here early on. Moment we're looking at 14 riders off front and 53 seconds. ASCII is here. Right now the gap is only 1:05. It is not a healthy gap. It's not guaranteed that this is going to be the breakaway, but with this many riders I can afford to sit on at least for the time being and stay fresh. Gap has opened to 135, so it might just work. 14 riders is a lot, but in terms of the combativity, see the rankings here. Zimmerman, he's got 21k. Campenarts has 31k. They've been off the front before. We're down to 11. ASCII has dropped out of the group. ASCII out of the group is huge for us, as he was the only one who was any kind of threat. He was the only one in any kind of threat, and we're down to 11 riders now as a few guys go back towards the peloton. That was a massive turn in what's going on here, because none of these guys around me are a threat, and with a long stage, as long as we can stay away for a good 100 plus K, it's going to put us in the driver's seat for the combativity award. The big thing is trying to get enough kilometers to get ahead of Fedorov at the end of the day, which he had about 240 and we're at 143, so it's going to take at least about 100 kilometers. The full stage was 190, so we are about 40k down the road already, and I wasn't kilometer zero off the front, but it was within a couple kilometers before I found a gap and was able to get through and attack. Right now I'm not convinced that I'm going to be around for 100 kilometers, but at least I've already made it 60 plus, which is putting me firmly into second place in the combativity classification. Problem with today and the stage that we're on is there's too many guys in this group.
The first climb of the day is in sight for men at the front.
The
Col de Lec.
And to make it worse, I'm not just here to make a name for their team, like our team is trying to do, right? They're happy to have me here because it's good for the sponsor. But for the riders around me, Godou is exactly 1 minute down on the overall race lead and inside the top 20 overall. He's a threat to the GC, which means the peloton doesn't want to let him get very far away. And he and guys like Champion and Tennyson to a lesser extent, but there's
the
a
Col de
number of
Lec is a
riders
second category
here
climb. There will be 5,
could
3,
win
2
this stage,
and 1 points to be shared at the top.
And so they're pushing pretty hard, and that's why riders have been dropping like flies. For now, I'm just hanging on to Tennyson's wheel. I'm going to let Champion come through when the time comes. I just want to keep going. Peloton's already chasing us down even further. We were out to 240 there for a moment. It's back down to 210. Hanging on to Tunison's wheel is not easy for me, and I might get dropped before the end of this climb, but Tunison does drop back. Let's follow somebody else now. Follow Zimmerman. Costafoy is another one who's a definite threat. Gap's been pulled back out to 250. Pretty healthy boost that came in through there. We're through the hardest part of the climb. I think I might make it to the top here. Live to ride another handful of kilometers after. Maybe get a chance to recover a bit. Might get us through the next climb, and if we can then get to the feed zone, I'll have a bit more energy to stay on for a while. So could be a real good day for us. Obviously, I'm not going to contend with these guys.
Watch out for him. He's the best puncher in the breakaway.
Tunison gets dropped. Here we go. Here's the big push. I'm just wanting to not get dropped, so just coming in gradually. Let's see just how much I'm feeling this thing. Campenarts is struggling.
Over the last climb.
Krasnofag goes over the top first. Difficult area and might get us back up there. Campenarts 20 seconds further back. Tönnissen is almost back to the peloton already, but Morkov and I might make contact, making it 7 at the front, but I'm kind of missing on those combativity kilometers at the moment. But at the same time, I need energy if I'm going to compete. So with Morkov here and as close as we are, I'm hoping he can help get us up there.
Winner of the
Reaching the bottom, Morkov, I'm going to have to come through and take a turn, and I think I can just about get us in contact here. Realizing how close we are. And now he's just sitting on, doesn't want to take a turn, or at least not at this effort level. After the next climb is the feed zone, but it follows an unclassified climb to get there. I'm not sure I'm going to be around that long, especially with this level of energy, but I'm going to push on and try to make contact. That's right now the biggest thing is I have to be in contact with the group. That's it. That's simple. Morkov, see, he's dropping back. Morkov's dropping back. So
he's a teammate who has everything to prove.
But already base of the climb, low on energy. At least I'm getting a few more kilometers out of it, but we got 70. I think I might get to close to 75, but that's going to be about it.
He's a teammate without ambitions for the overall standings.
Which means I will not catch Fedorov. I'll still be about 25 behind. And
the next difficulty, just like the previous one, is listed as second category. There will thus be 5, 3, 2, and 1 points to be claimed for the mountains classification.
Big acceleration. I don't think I can match that. I'm going to set my tempo. Already out the back of the peloton, even before the top of the climb. I'm on to the final climb of the day. I'm 151st. I was way behind. I was 10 minutes behind everybody else, so I'm not making that much progress today. That was the difficulty of being in the break and just how much it hurt and how early it hurt, so we're just not making up that much ground, though I have caught and overtaken riders by fair margin lead of the overall standing here, but down to 46 in the peloton. Kostar was there.
To maintain the tempo.
Close.
Watch him. He must feel able to win the stage.
Or so, but has dropped back a little bit here on the way towards the finish. But it's Ben O'Connor who currently has a slender 200-meter advantage, 10-second advantage over the chasing 46 that are about to contest the end of this stage. With that many riders left, it's surprising to see that guys like Bernal or Pedersen have been dropped, or Moss, who are much too strong to be that far down. But this climb in particular did a lot of damage to the field. Big arrow tuck here, really getting some momentum to get into this hill. Definitely helped. Because even though we just went through the Cat 2, Pogacar takes the win. Ahead of Pidcock, Van Aert, Skjelmoza, and Van der Poel. Seems like no matter what you do, Soudal Quickstep will always have the wrong names in this game. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I went through and fixed every single unlicensed team. There was only a few. Fixed the team names, fixed the rider names for each of them, and I'm using that self-modified database for this gameplay, but for whatever reason, Soudal Quickstep didn't stick, but the others seem to. So for all I know, maybe there's a very strict Soudal Quickstep of you cannot use our names and likenesses. But at least all the other teams are correct. We made it over the top of the climb. We'll be on our way to the finish now. Still 12k to go, though. And there's already 80 plus riders across the line, sprinters across the line. But today for me was all about that breakaway. Right at the back, Viviani plus one more was behind me. That was it. Bringing up the rear end today, but that's okay. Front six end up getting 4 seconds of separation late on. Vingegaard picked up 2 bonus seconds at the intermediate sprint, helping out his case. We were already out of GC. Today just made that even worse. But for the combativity for the stage, I get 73 kilometers today, good enough for 6th place. Big gains for those 3, but it's their first day in the break, and just those 3, the others fell off either roughly at the same time I did or soon after, giving us a little bit of an advantage over much of the breakaway today, and definitely making up some ground on the overall combativity award, but much work to do with 2 stages left. GC now looks like this, but Gatcher leads from Pidcock by 5 seconds. Hershey is half a minute, with Vlasov just behind that, just a step off the podium. Costor still our highest, now our highest, ahead of Lozano by 4 seconds, 56th overall. I am 152nd overall. Lost a lot of time in this stage, a lot of time. KOM, Vlasov leads. Points classification is Girmay on top. Young rider is Pidcock. Team classification has seen us fall to 17th, and combativity confirmed 2nd place. Further behind than I thought. I thought Fedorov was at 240 something. He's at 280, 282. That's going to be a difficult one with 2 short final stages remaining, and the risk of Fedorov trying to get another break. Zimmerman, Askey, Godou. There's a few guys in some range, some amount of contact that if they wanted it, they could definitely beat me for it. But I will try to go into the break for stage 7 to get the lead, and then watch and wait and see what happens on stage 8 on whether I need to attack and follow whoever's in close contact. Obviously, Fedorov would and will remain in close contact. Zimmerman might remain in close contact. Those are the ones we'll have to watch out for on that last stage. But we'll give it our all in stage 7 to try to get ahead. But we're 6 out of 8 stages through in this one. I'll probably have to play out both of the last 2 stages to ensure that I can win the combativity award in this race. I've definitely seen a few milestone notifications pop up, so we are picking up some points. I know we're going to have some time trial points, maybe prologue points for the team time trial that we participated in early on, but we're making good progress. It's still difficult though. Much bigger race, much tougher race than the first one we were in, and kind of hanging in there. That's going to do it for this episode though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Please take that moment to like and comment. It really helps with the algorithm. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.